and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Forgive me, I've gone live a few minutes early, 9 minutes early to be exact, just because we've got so much to talk about before we actually get crafting, and I wanted to show you some things that I've got happening in the craft room at the moment. I've been through a bit of a deep blue funk, I suppose you'd call it, with my classes and things. They all seem to be getting a bit samey. So I thought, why not? Let's do something a bit different in July and step up with the classes and the offerings and see how we go. See what I can intrigue you all with. Just bear with me now. I'm going to make sure that everything is streaming properly, that my volume is good. Volume looks okay. Just bear with me now. Looks all right. To make sure volume looks okay there. It's really dark in the craft room today. I've got all my lights on, or all the ones that I can use without getting horrible shadows everywhere. But yeah, it's just the sun is out and it's a lovely day outside. It's just not making its way to the craft room, sadly. So bear with me. Everything will be a little bit dark and gloomy. But anyway, we'll see how we go. As I say, a couple of things to show you, or a few things to show you before we get started. So I'm going to move them. They're all here at the side here. I've got a pile of stuff here that's probably about 30 centimetres high, and I just want to show you some of them before we get started. So snuggle in, grab a coffee, and we'll have a look at some of the things that are happening in the craft room at the moment. Please pop on, say hi when you join. Let me know you're watching, and where you're from as well would be great if you haven't joined us before. Okay, some of you may know, especially if you're demonstrators or if you you watch my Facebook page as well, you'll realise that we recently had in April a sales challenge. So we had to reach certain sales goals as demonstrators, and if you reached the goal for your level, I won't go into explaining what levels are, but demonstrators have different titles and levels that go with them. If you reached the goal for your title, you got a cute tote bag, and I was lucky enough, or fortunate enough, because with the support of all my lovely customers, to reach my goal for my particular title, and I got the tote bag. Now this is the tote bag. It's really cute. It's a lovely pink. That's our new strawberry slush pink, which I'll never ever be able to say. It's all felt. It's nice and sturdy. It stands up all by itself. You open it up like this, and it's got these two little Velcro inners here that you set up compartments inside. There's really cute little nice double stitched handles, lots of handy little pockets on both sides, so you can travel with the tote. I suppose it is it's probably the best part of 33 centimetres long, and probably about 25 wide. So good capacity there. I know that the stamp pads and everything all fit in these pockets. So if you are a crafter who likes to craft on the go, or you attend retreats or anything like that, this would be a wonderful little tote. Now the thing is, I don't do any of those things. I don't generally go to retreats, and I generally just craft at home. And I have all my classes at home as well. So I love it. I love it, and I'm so proud that I earned it. But am I going to use it? Probably not. So to reward my wonderful customers, I'm going to give this away to one customer who orders before the end of June. So you still got 2 weeks. You have to place an order of over $100 plus postage, because I think it's a pretty special price. So it needs a special order. So over $100 plus postage if you order that through me or my online store before the end of June. So I started this contest about 4 or 5 days ago. So from then to the end of June, if you order $100 worth or more, I'll pop you in the draw to win my tote. So there you go. So if you'd like the look of that, and you've got a bit of a checklist happening, or a bit of a wish list at the moment, please pop that in. Great time to save as well, which we'll talk about momentarily with our sweet sale. But anyway, so $100 order plus postage or more pops you in the draw for my tote. with my blessing. And as I say, I was really proud to get it, but will I use it? Probably not. So hopefully it'll go to a home where somebody will use it more than me. Okay, next. Now, also happening at the moment, I've restarted my scrapbooking, my monthly scrapbooking club. I gave the ladies a month or so off to catch up, the ladies who were doing it previously. So we're going to start up again in July. So I'm sort of calling this a July class because I'm getting ready for it now. It's an online scrapbooking club. So basically what happens every month, we pick one of the kits from the Stamping Up, in this case, the annual catalogue. This is Weekend Adventures. This is the one we're doing at the moment. I have a kit. I basically cut in videos, I cut all the pieces up so you can see I've got all my layouts there ready to go. I haven't done the actual scrapbooking part of that yet. So there's 4 videos. There's one for all the cutting, and then there's a video for each of the layouts as well. So this month, as I say, we're doing the Weekend Adventures. And then as a bonus to the ladies who do my scrapbooking club, I then will make some cards with the leftovers from the kit. So you'll end up with your 3 gorgeous double layouts plus some cards with the scraps if you join the club. So with the leftovers, I won't call them scraps, with the leftovers. So as I say, we're starting up again. It's going to be a brand new group as such in Facebook. So I've closed the group that we did for the previous 4, and I'm going to open up a new one. So as you purchase the kit, I will add you to that group, and that's where the videos will be. So if you'd like to be a part of that, these are wonderful kits. They're really good for beginners. If you'd like to get into scrapbooking, they're a great kit for beginners, and especially the videos as well. I've had a couple of ladies say that they love the fact that they're videos and they're recorded, so you can actually go back and check them again and again if you find that you're losing your way a little bit. And having me do the cutting and all the pages before you, I can find if there's anything a little bit confusing, because I'm not a huge scrapbooker. I've only just started again now that Stamping Up are doing scrapbooking more seriously. So if there is something that's hard to understand, I will not understand it. So I will stumble into all the errors, the mistakes or the hard bits before you actually get there. So as I say, great online. You don't have to go out of home. You can stay at home and do the classes, and it's don't have to go out in the cold to go to a workshop or a class. You can just pop in on your computer or your iPad and you're in. So anyway, and I don't charge anything extra for the club. You just pay for the kit, and that's all you pay for. There's no extra cost on top of that. You get everything, all my work for the price of the kit. Okay, so that is my workshop kit. If you do all 4, or you do 4 kits in this round of classes, if you do all 4, I'll give you a $25 product credit at the end as well. So that's another thing to think of. And I was going to say, a lady said the other day she'd probably use 2 of these, but she probably wouldn't use some of the later ones that we're going to do. So if you buy 4, so say you could buy 2 of this one and then just 2 of the remaining 3. Or if you really, really, really love this one, you could buy 3 of these and just 1 of the remaining. So that's the way I'll do that, as long as you purchase 4. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the 4 individual ones. It can be 2 or 3 or whatever of a single one. Okay, so that's my scrapbooking club. That's online. Also online, I have this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Now this is the Painterly Pears suite, which is an online exclusive that comes available to customers on the first week in July. So I think it's about the 2nd of July, something like that. So not too far to wait now. I've got mine in pre-order. And this is what I decided I would do. I haven't done a product class for a long, long time. So I thought we'd do a product class with this absolutely gorgeous suite. As I say, available to customers from the 2nd or 3rd of July. I'll check that for you. And if you're a demo, you can pre-order it now. So it comes with, as sweets some usually do, a sweet little pear bundle. So there's pears there. There are what do we call it? The ones that colour in. So they've got a colour in there. And you've got the line drawings as well and some really nice little sentiments. The dies, they've got a little sentiment box in there. I won't get them out because I've got so much stuff out, I'm likely to lose something. Cuts out all the images, etc., etc. So that's the stamp set. Got absolutely divine, and I don't even know that I'm going to do it justice here in the craft room. It's a mossy meadow and gold ribbon. So on one side you can see it's mossy meadow with a tint of gold. If you flip it over, and I don't know whether it's supposed to be the wrong side, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's mostly gold with a tinge of the mossy meadow. So that's a gorgeous ribbon. And you get in the suite some bling as well. So there's bling. I think it's to me there'd be the colours of the suite, I suppose. There'd be, they don't say what the colours are, but I reckon that's a yellow would be the new Darling Duckling. That would be a garden green, and that really dark one there is either a really, really dark peacock, pretty peacock, or it's night sky, secret sky. But anyway, they're gorgeous, and they're my colours as well. So that's the paper, the bling and the ribbon are what you have to buy to be a part of my of this product class. You just buy the product. Everything else you all the instructions to the projects you'll get for nothing. So don't worry about too much. So you just buy the product for retail and you buy it from me, and you'll get the instructions for these projects absolutely free. So there's 3 cards. I've made a, what do we call it? What are these ones? A fault card there. So in the pretty petal pink, we've got a fault card. Just this one with the cute little layers and some of the ribbon as well. And this one, which looks cute enough from the outside. So you're just getting the instructions for these. There's no kits available. It's just the instructions. This little one here, but it opens up with a surprise accordion on the inside. So that one's really special as well. I give you the instructions for this cute little box. Ta-da! And this is unusual for me. I've never actually given instructions for a scrapbooking page before, but I'll give you instructions for this scrapbooking page also. That's my daughter, my brother, my son and my daughter-in-law there. They're a perfect pair. So I think that's really cute as well. So, so I'll give you instructions for the scrapbooking page. And I thought this was cute. I actually sort of, these little, because the pairs are actually the line drawings and you can fill them in with the stamp, but I just did the line drawing there and coloured it with blends and gave the little pairs some little smiles there as well. So I thought they were a perfect pair hanging on the branch there. So yeah, instructions for all of these if you purchase the paper, the bling and the ribbon from me. Now, Australian dollars, and obviously I can only sell to Australian customers. All 3 of those things are $55.25 retail plus postage. So for that, you'll get those, and you'll get the instructions for the gorgeous projects as well. And I know that some of my ladies are not into scrapbooking, but I think there's enough value there with the 3 cards and the little box to make it worthwhile purchasing and getting the class as well. So there's my Painterly Pear class. I'm putting that all in a container. Thank you, Linda, if you're watching. Linda gives me these wonderful large plastic slips when she's finished with them, and I use them all the time. Okay, so that is my Painterly Pear product class. So that will actually open to customers. Well, I'll purchase for customers on the 2nd of July when it becomes available, but you can pay me at any time up to then or beyond. So I'll hold that class all July. Okay, apologies, I know this is going on a bit. My next Funfold class features the Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper and the flower accent bling there. So they go together in a suite. And the theme for July is bridge cards. So we've got one here that's like a step bridge. You can see a little bridge there, just a little different slant on a stepper card really. This one's like a basic bridge. This is the one we see often. So there we are. And this one is unusual. I found this one and thought we'd give it a go. And this is I think they call this a double bridge. So there you go. So that's a bridge as well. So it's got the card that opens at the back. So that's my July Funfold class. When you sign up, again, Australian customers only, you sign up for my class, you get the kits with this one. So you do actually get the kits with this particular class to make the 3 cards, plus you get a quarter pack of the paper and a half pack of the bling. And that is $34 month by month, but I do actually offer a discount if you purchase 3 or 6 months in advance. Okay, and we have a Zoom as well, so I haven't worked out when the Zoom will be. So that's my July Funfold. Get that down. Everything's just dumping straight on the floor. And I'm also offering, and I keep purchasing more supplies for these, my little mini album, my on-the-go mini album kits are still available. Here's the one I've completed with our little road trip to Victoria and New South Wales. You basically get, and I want to be careful, you basically get, everything you need to make this one except for your adhesives and, of course, your photos. You need to add those yourself. You get half a pack of the on-the-go designer series paper, which is what I fussy cut all these little decorations from. You get the twine. You get a little sticker, which has actually fallen off, which keeps that twine in place. It must be on the floor somewhere. And you get 16 assorted sized flip-flaps. So these are our scrapbooking flip-flaps, but I'm using them to make this cute little album. And I will admit that I got the idea for the album from our Sarah Douglas put a video, but I sort of made it my own and added the little cardstock album cover. She'd actually just used designer series paper for hers, which was a bit flimsy for me. But anyway, yeah, so everything you need except adhesives and photos to make that little album for $40 Australian, including post. So $40 gets you the whole thing. So it's a great little, cute little album. I like that one. So there, and you get the instructions and the video as well. So that's my mini album class, and it's been so popular, I'm just going to keep offering it. So as long as the paper is still current, the flip-flaps are still current, everything is still available, I will keep offering that class indefinitely. So if you've bought one and you fancy a second, please, by all means, reach out. Plump on the floor. Okay, I think we're nearly there. Now, this got such a great response during the week, I had to show you what I have done. This is also an online exclusive that will be available in only a couple of weeks, on early July. It is the Sunflower 3D embossing folder. You can tell it's one of our bigger embossing folders. It's like a huge 5x7 at least. Anyway, but the detail that you get when you emboss this is just gorgeous. Look at that. So that's just on a piece of lemon lollies, which was about the only size scrap that I could find, but it's gorgeous. It is really, really beautiful. So just on its own, you can imagine you pop that with a card with sentiment on the front. Perfect. It's just the quick, easy card. Anyway, and for the life of me, I cannot remember if any one of my demo friends are watching and they know the price of it. I can't remember. I just got too excited by the way it looked. So if you could, someone could pop in the comments if they can remember how much it is. Normal embossing folder is about $17, but I can't imagine that they'd be selling that size. But anyway, I will, if anyone wants to know, please reach out and I will let you know. But I did this one just with the cardstock, and then I embossed another one, another piece just with white. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. I embossed my, just a piece of white. Nice. I do have a frog in my throat. Forgive me. Hopefully it'll work its way down or up, one way or the other. I just had a strip. It was just a scrap, so there was no actual rhyme or reason why I made it that size. I just had a strip of white cardstock, popped it through the embossing folder, and I grabbed my blends. So it's the light and dark Darling Duckling, which I think maybe next time I'll use Daffodil Delight instead. Light, Old Olive, light and dark pecan pie for the insides of the sunflowers, and the background there is my pool party. And that, I think, is so special. And I've just used a little bit of an ephemera sentiment there and popped some bling on there, and I made a really nice slimline card. I think that's really cute, really nice. And it was just so therapeutic, just sitting there colouring this in. It was just like, oh, all the worries in the world just slipped away. And anyway, it is a lovely one. So watch out for that when it becomes available to customers early July as well. And if you're, as I say, if you're a demo, you can grab one on pre-order, which is even better because you get to play with it for longer. Okay, that's it. I think that's all. Yes, it is. Now we can start crafting. Apologies that has taken so long, taken a little bit longer than I thought, but I had a lot to share with you today. So what we're actually going to craft with is the party alphabet dies. Now this is in the annual catalogue, and I'll show you the page in the annual catalogue. It's on page 86 and 87 of the annual catalogue, and it comes in a bundle with the party banner dies. Now we're not going to use the banners today, but they are in a bundle, so you can buy them together or you can buy them separately. I've got them both, but we're going to use the alphabet today. Now, before we start, a lot of ladies have said, I really love them, but they are so expensive, and I can understand that. At $173 retail just for the alphabet did make us all gasp a wee bit when we saw it on stage. And put it together with the banners, you can put them as a bundle. You're still looking at quite an expensive bundle there. As you can see, they've got lots and lots of different uses there. Now, I did promise you we can have a look at how to get this, either one or both of these, cheaper. And as far as I can think of, there are three ways of getting them cheaper to bring them down to something that might be a little bit more doable for you. First of all, and the most obvious one, is to buy both. If you buy both, so at $173 plus $70, but if you buy both, you save 10% and you get the bundle for $218.50. Now, this is Australian dollars, of course. So that's one way of saving. So $218.50 for both the banners and the alphabet. That's your first saving. Now, my second suggestion, and this is how I actually bought mine, as a demonstrator, first of all, you save 20 or 25%. But I actually used my saved up rewards to buy these. So I had it in my head that I wanted them. I really didn't want to pay the full price. So over a series of months, probably however long it's been since I've seen the catalogue, I saved up my rewards. Now, Stampin' Up! Rewards, you earn them on all orders over $35 Australian, and you can save them up. You don't have to spend them the next order. You don't have to spend them. You have to spend them within 12 months. So you've only got 12 months to do it. But if you save, you're just putting in little orders every month or so, save up your rewards, and then you can save on that bundle as well. So that's one way of doing it. Save up your rewards with getting these in mind, either one or both of those. And the third way, and this is the way that I'd like you to do it most, is to join Stampin' Up! And put them in your starter kit. And I think I don't even know that there's a little blurb about joining in the back of the catalogue anymore. Maybe there's not. Anyway, so if you join Stampin' Up! Just as a normal time without any of the special offers and things like that we often offer, you can get $235 worth of product of your choice for $169 with free delivery. So if you are not currently a demonstrator and you think that you would like either one or both of these, you could quite easily add them to your starter kit with extras. So if you just want the party alphabet, it's $170 something. You've got another $60 worth of product of your choice that you could add to that and get it for $169 with free shipping. So if you think about it, you're actually probably getting it, if you want to sort of justify it to yourself like I do sometimes, you'd actually be getting the alphabet dies for more like $100, which sounds okay. And there is a lot happening in there. If you wanted both of them, it's $218.50. You'd still be able to add a packet of bling or something like that and still get them for $169 with free delivery. So that's my third way, and that would be, if I wasn't a demo and I was absolutely desperate for these, that third way, the joining offer, would be the way that I would, I'd probably attack that. So they are my 3 ways of saving. Buy them as a bundle and save 10%. Save up all your rewards over all your orders and use them to make it cheaper. Or the third option is join my team, the Chatty Stampers, and get them as part of your starter kit would be the way I'd love you to do it. Not that I'm being, it's not all about me. Okay, so let's actually use these dies. We'll show you what they look like first, and hopefully by the end of this you'll be so desperate for them that you'll do just about anything I say. I've already taken them off the adhesives. Now I tell you what, the adhesives that Stamping Up attach their dies to the cardboard with, I think if they used it to clog up the hole in the ozone layer, it would never, ever, ever, ever come apart. It is the glue that would keep the universe together, I reckon. But anyway, I've taken them all off. I had purchased some adhesive A4 adhesive sheets from an online craft store, so I've put most of them on there, but I only had 1 sheet, so the rest of them are just sitting in there. So I'll get a second sheet and pop them all on so that they'll fit. But yeah, they are huge. The biggest ones, I don't know, they're all the same height. They're all probably what, close on 2.5 inches high, and the thicker ones would probably be nearly 2 inches wide. So they are huge. That's why they go with the banners and make such great readable banners. So yeah, if you want big letters for your scrapbooking, for your banners, for your special cards, these are definitely the way to go. They are humongous. Maybe too big in some cases, because to get them on a card it was a little bit tricky. I had to be very specific about the names that I chose. In here, and as I say, I will get a second magnetic thing. You've got all the different letters that for the different languages, and all the accents as well if you're in French. So you've got the C curl, and you've got the grave and the accents and things like that in the special characters as well. So there we go. So that is the alphabet, and I won't show you the banners today because let's get crafting and stop wasting time. Okay, so we're going to make 1, 2, 3 cards, and then I'll show you a 4th as well. But we'll start with 2 cards that I made up first. So as I say, thankfully, I tried to get something like mum along there, and a normal card sort of 5 7/8 long. I couldn't get mum on there because it was too big. But I actually have decided I'm going to try again and actually scrunch up, sort of overlap the letters a little bit, and I'm sure I'll get it in where there's a way. But thankfully I have 2 dear friends whose birthdays are this month, but they've already got their birthday cards coming to them, but their names happen to fit on 3-letter names happen to fit on a full-length card. So these are the ones I've done. So we might start with this one here. I'm using my favourite designer series paper at the moment, which is the Floral Impressions. Okay, and I think this one is called an eclipse card. So the eclipse is it eclipse? So it's slightly off, yeah. So the letters are die cut, but they're slightly placed off so that you can see the dark card behind it. So what I've got is a normal size. I'm sitting quite crooked on my chair. Apologies. I'm going to have a terrible bad back if I keep doing it that way. So I've got a plain white card base, and I've taken this right out. Oh, thank you, Kay. $21 Australian for the sunflower embossing folder. There you go. Yeah, so it's a full half piece of A4, so I've taken it right out to 5 7/8, scored it at 4 1/8, so that's our card base. I have a layer of Misty Moonlight, and Misty Moonlight seems to be the colour of the century at the moment, because everything I see that comes out of Stamping Up seems to have something to do with Misty Moonlight at the moment. Yeah, I think it's I'll be using it as well for this next class, so there you go. So that's just a layer. It's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. I didn't go the full 1/4 of an inch smaller because I wanted, as I say, to keep that length so I didn't have to scrunch up our letters too much. And then I've got a layer, just a little piece of this beautiful designer series paper from the Floral Impressions. So I'm going to do a back. Will I do a back? Or something, it has to be something that fits. Yeah, let's stick with what we know. We'll do back again. So if you're watching Rebecca, I've got like 3 years worth of birthday cards sorted out here for you, girl. So you'll know what you're getting in advance. So we've got our B and our E and our C for Beck. And I'm going to just cut them straight from the designer series paper. Move that to the side. I think I just heard the door. I think Stevie Wonder's home from the pool. Okay, so just get my cut and emboss machine out. Here we go. I was trying to be a wee bit organised today and actually got everything out that I need, I think. Okay, so if you were worried too much about getting these straight across, you could put a very fine pencil mark there and use that to line them up. I'm not going to, there's that frog's back again. I'm not going to be that picky. I'm just going to position them along there. You see that? Yep, B, E. She's already got her next birthday card done, so if this one's a little bit off, it won't matter too much. Looks about right. There we go. B, E, C. Where did I put that? There it is. Just print that out and cut that out straight. I was watching a video during the week that was on the Stamping Up website, the Facebook page, where Sarah was actually talking to somebody, one of her artists at Stamping Up, and she had worked out 12 ways. I think it was 12. It might have been 24. 24 ways of using these dies. Which I thought was absolutely amazing. So, yes, I have to work my way through her 24 ways. So there you've got, I've cut that out. Obviously, the B has lost its 2 little donut holes there, so we'll make sure we keep those. We're going to need them for the card. But the E and the C are in just on their own. Yeah, come here, you. There we go. I'll move that out of the way. We're going to need it again a couple of times before we're done. Now I'm going to glue the designer series paper straight to our card front. And put glue around the edges, of course, but I'm going to glue down the little fiddly bits for the letters also. Just there. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably leave that as it is. Well, you couldn't because the B's haven't got the insides bits, but if you had letters that didn't have like little off-cutty bits, I mean that's a cute little card on its own, isn't it? Yeah, but anyway, we're going to go a little bit further than that. I'm going to pop the B. Where's the B? B. I'm going to pop the B just temporarily into its little gap. Missed a piece of glue there. Grab the 2 little donut holes there, and I'm going to glue them in place in the 2 little holes just to line them up so I know where they need to live. Just one. And this one. I'll remove the B again. Okay, so there's a Beck. There we go. Kathy, do Jan. I'll show you Jan in a minute, Kathy. You're one step ahead of me. But yes, I will do Kathy. Kathy. Oh, Kathy would be too long. Julianne is like mega long. It'd have to be the biggest card in the world. There you go. So that's Beck. So what I'm going to do now is grab the actual letters that I've removed and some dimensionals. This is there's a fair bit of dimensionals happening here, so stay with me. I mean, it depends how crazy you want to get with them. Might just only, I will use 4 or 5 just while I'm showing you guys. And the good thing is that they are nice thick, because they're so large, you've got room for big dimensionals. See, room for big dimensionals. You don't have to chop them down or get too fiddly with them. There's plenty of room there. And whatever I'm doing on here, you could do it as a banner. You could obviously get a lot more letters if you're doing it as a banner. But yeah, cards make it a little bit difficult. Okay, so with what we've decided this is called an eclipse card, you actually just bring it in, you offset it a little bit to one way. I'm going a little bit to the right and a little bit down, and you pop it on there. So you actually see the blue or whatever darker colour you've got through there, and it forms a bit of an outline for our B or any letters. So let's do our E. Can swap to little dimensionals if you feel that it's a little bit big with the full size, like that little piece of the E there might need a little dimensional or an offcut or something. I'll just get my scissors, just use a little edge there, that should be okay. Don't stick to each other, guys. It's too big. That's better. Okay, here's my E. Again, a little bit to the right and a little bit down. There's our E and the C. A few dimensionals happening with both these cards. Oh no, I didn't use one dimensionals with the other one. I thought I might though. Change the design a bit, as much as that always ends in disaster. Okay, this one, a little bit to the side, a little bit down. That's the C. Okay, so there we are. So that's our BEC. For bling, I decided to use the bling which has gone missing. Where are you, bling? It was here a minute ago. Oh man. It's always the way with me, isn't it, guys? The bling is, there it is. I'm using the strawberry slush and gold, or pretty and pink gold, what are we called? Gems. That's all right, that was pretty easy. Gems. There we go. And I might use the really dark ones, which would be our strawberry slush. Just pop those around. Look, honestly, I mean, it doesn't really need a lot of bling. There's no sentiment on the front there. There's obviously no room. But I suppose you could put one, you know, just a little sentiment box somewhere if you really wanted to. I'm just going to leave it without the sentiment. Pop happy birthday inside, or whatever I decide to use it for, if it happens to be her next birthday. Where I go over here, and then up here. So there's 5 of those. Ooh. 5 of those little blings. Okay, that's our first one. That's our eclipse card. There we go. Right, number 1. Now, number 2 is my other friend who's having a birthday this month. Put those away, put them somewhere safe. Do you have a safe place where you put things and then you put them there and you never know where the safe place is? I so often say to my husband, I've put them in a safe place. What their safe place happens to be is anyone's guess. But that's okay. I think that's part of getting older. But I'd actually say I think I've done that forever. I'm going to pop my B and my E and the C back again. Okay, so the next one is for, well, it's not for Deb because, she, as I say, she's already got her birthday card coming as well. But Deb fits on it. So there you go. This one, I'm going just full strawberry slush. There we go. Full strawberry slush. White white card base again. Same size as the first one, the full 5 7/8 long. This one I'm going to pop through an embossing folder, and I did want to show you these little embossing folders. We've gone from one extreme to another. We've got the huge sunflower embossing folder, and we've got 2 little smaller ones, just perfect for our mini cut and emboss if that's what you use. This is our from the annual catalogue, I think, Glass and Gardens embossing folders. I know I've seen some demonstrators recently come onto the leaders groups and say, beg Stamping Up to put something on, I don't know, somewhere that says that whether it's an online exclusive or an annual catalogue or a mini catalogue item. So I don't know that they will because things tend to swap between. But anyway, wherever this is from, it's online. Go online and you will find it. It's the Glass and Garden embossing folders. Perfect for your little mini cut and emboss. This one's the glass one, and it's got sort of like a crystalline sort of pattern to it. Really cute. And it fades off to nothing, so you can use it on a full width and you don't get that horrible, what's the word, that sort of fault line join in between them. And this one we're going to use, this is the garden version, and it's got some cute little flowers. You'll see it better when I actually emboss. So I'm going to bring that in. My little strip of strawberry slush, it's about 2 3/4 wide. I'm just going to emboss that with the little pattern. So it's just a little pattern that goes along that middle. Get my machine back. Now, if you're using these with your big machine, you will have to reintroduce a plate to get it to fit. So you've got your big thick plate, then you have to reintroduce your 2. So if you're like me, I never use my 2 because I've got my magnetic cutting board. So I just pop that through. So you need the big thick one, plate 2, and your embossing plate to get it through. There we are. That's embossed there. I'm actually going to use the other side. It's just cute, just a little strip of flowers that one places all the way along. I won't put that away too far because we're going to need it again really soon. So I'm just going to glue this straight to our, I'm still standing. You can probably tell as my voice changed. I'm still actually standing. I haven't sat it down because I'm going to stand again in a minute. I'm going to pop that just straight across the middle of our card base. Just straight across. Hopefully straight being the operative word. Straight-ish across. No, that's definitely not. I might pop it on my grid paper so I can see. Line it up there. How are we? A bit high on that side. There we go. Okay, so that's our card base. There we go. That's really nice. You can see that. Love that one. One of my ladies picked that as her prize for my launch, which is, I've got it here. Evelyn, if you're watching, your prize is here. I'm going to send it with the next Funfold class. Okay, so I've got a strip. Again, we've gone back to our Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. I've just cut myself a strip. lengthways, because this one actually changes colour as you go along, so I'm sticking with this sort of roughly the same colours there. This is what I'm going to use to cut out our letters. Sorry, I've moved away. Let's go. We've got that. Move that aside. So this time we'll keep with Deb. Deb usually watches. Deb reminds me to use my ribbon. And I always forget to use my ribbon. You've probably seen her on there saying, remember your ribbon. No ribbon today, Deb. I don't think. No. Not that there aren't some gorgeous ribbons out there. I just tend to not think about it. I'm not a ribbony person. So D, I'm going to cut them down this way. D, E, E, B. We do them that way. Let's see how that goes. Be less wasteful. D, E, B. Thankfully, I've got 2 dear friends or 3 dear friends whose names will fit. Oh, we've probably got lots of good friends whose names will fit, but they're the ones that I'm thinking of. Sal. I reckon Sal would fit if Sal's watching. Sally's watching. Elizabeth definitely wouldn't fit. Maybe Liz. If I called you Liz, that would fit. There we go. D-E-B. That stayed in there. No, there we go. Get rid of that. Now, I thought when I looked at this, I can sit down now. When I looked at this, I thought it wasn't quite clear enough. It didn't sort of quite stand out enough. So what I thought I would do with this one is just grab, she says reaching further than she should reach, grab a little dauber. And I don't know, this could end up being an absolute disaster, but we'll see. Grab a little dauber and some ink. And as I think about it, I'm wondering how I'm going to do this. But anyway, let's grab a dauber and some ink and grab that and see how we go. I just thought I'd add a little bit of a dark edge around them just to give them a little bit more oomph away from the cardstock. Now, Julianne, how are you going to do the inside? Do it that way. Oh yeah, that works. Just a little bit on the inside as well. Okay, so there's my B with a little bit more colour around its edge. Let's do the D. I'm not sure that this colour, because actually I've moved a little bit away from the pinks into more of the orange. Maybe it should have been orange. That's okay. We'll live with it. There we go. And now our E. I just see Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're still on. Just saw the message. Saw the comment. Now, I haven't seen any. I got somebody asked me the other day why I don't reply to comments on YouTube. And I don't do it on purpose. So who's on YouTube? Rose is on YouTube. It's just that they don't necessarily come up all the time. It's not I'm not platform specific. It's just that the YouTube interface doesn't seem to work all the time. And whereas I've got my Facebook open in front of me so I see the Facebook ones. So if you're watching on YouTube, please don't feel neglected. I don't do it on purpose. And I do look at them afterwards and answer them when I need to, when there's a question. I just appreciate wherever you're watching, let's face it. There's so many people doing the same sort of stuff. I'm honoured that you chose me this Saturday morning. Anyway, all good. Okay, so there's my DEB. So this is me trying to make them stick out a little bit better than they did on the previous one. And I thought, just because, you know, who hasn't got dimensionals to burn, I'd pop some dimensionals on the back as well. So bear with me. I'm not going to go too crazy because this might not work anyway. We'll just pop a couple on the back. So you can tell me when we finish which one you prefer. Do you prefer the one that's just straight to the cardstock, or do you think this is the way to go? Don't comment yet. Don't comment yet because you haven't seen it. Don't preempt yourself. Kylie just turned on your phone. Oh, well, I'm glad you turned on your phone this morning, Kylie. Welcome. Okay, so D. Oh, maybe should have started with the E, but anyway, here we go. I'm going to guesstimate where it has to be. I think it has to be about there. About straight. I'll put the B in first, next, and then I can actually position the E in the middle. And there are many of you who know that, that I live in Tasmania for a start, but you know that I have two sons who are engineers, and one of them works at a manganese smelter. I get them all mixed up, the various elements, but it's a manganese smelter in the north of the state, which has been having a little bit of financial issues of late, and they've gone into, well, what the papers are calling shutdown, but it's not actually shutdown. What the papers are calling care and maintenance, but it's not actually care and maintenance. It's a shutdown. Care and maintenance means something else quite different, apparently, if you listen to Sammy. So they've popped him on paid leave for 4 weeks while they try and sort out their financial woes. So even though Sammy lives down here half the time, he actually commutes up north once a week. And I've put that dimensional in the wrong spot. He commutes up north, so he has 1 week down here in Hobart and then the next week up in Georgetown, which is way up north. So he's got 4 weeks of paid leave, which is a little bit scary to think that, they're in trouble, but it's quite nice for him to have 4 weeks off. So he's we're going to be having coffee and lunch and all those things that I do when my kids are on holidays. So it will be nice to have my youngest home, but fingers crossed they find a solution to their financial woes and he can get back to proper roster after that. But so his partner Hannah has got him a list of things to do that's about this long. So I think she's a bit worried that I might try and monopolise his holiday time and he won't get the list done. But being a suffering partner of a Richards man, I know better than to offer him too many distractions, because he will take them. If he's anything like his dad, he's distracted by the least of interesting things when there's a list of jobs to be done. So anyway, it's a little bit of what's happening in my world. Now that is standing out much better. I'm really pleased with that. As far as bling goes, I'll add a little bit of bling as well. But I think I've actually changed something for the better this time, because I think it's standing out better than the other one. So let's just add some bling. It's a bit hard to know where to bling with this, because it's sort of like the extremes. Oh, and I was going to add a sentiment to this one as well. Don't let me forget. Where am I doing the next two? Oh. So I'll bring in the first card, and you can tell me what you think. Whether you think the change is good. Okay, I'll do the sentiment. So the sentiment, I was going to use just the little happy birthday from Arched Wishes. No sentiments with any of these dies that we're playing with today. There we go. I'll grab my strawberry slush again. This is a bit bigger a happy birthday than the other one I used. I hope it fits. Oh yeah, not too bad. There we go, happy birthday. So that's definitely a birthday card, that one. Okay, so this was the one we just did where I've given it a little bit of sponging around the edges and put it up on dimensionals, and I think that stands out a lot better than the Deb on that one. Which one do you prefer? The flat Deb without the sponging, or the one that's got a little bit of extra happening to it? I'm thinking this one stands out better as to whether it's a good thing or another. Anyway, there you go. So that's our second one. So that's our Deb card. Now, the last one I want to do is this little one here. So these dies, they're a good size just to use on their own. I thought they're so huge that this is like a little 4x4, just a little gift card. So I was thinking about my daughter-in-law, Hannah. Yeah, I think extra Deb is a bit better too, Evelyn. Thinking about my daughter-in-law, Hannah, she's not a girly girl by any stretch. She loves her rugby and she loves walking and exercise and hiking and all those sorts of things. And she's not a pinky pink girl at all. So I thought for a little gift card, a little H there would be perfect for her. But anyway, so that's Hannah, for H for Hannah. And I'll show you in a minute while I've managed to make that H stand out a little bit as well. And these stripes at the background are also a new stamp set that I want to show you. But saying that Hannah is not a pinky pink girl, my other daughter-in-law, Izzy, is definitely a pinky pink girl. So this one I'm going to make for her. And she's just had her birthday as well, so this is not going to be used for another 12 months unless I give her a present off season, so to speak. Little card base there is just a 4 1/8 square. So 4 1/8 by 8 1/4, scored in the middle. 10.5 inches if you wanted to use 10.5 centimetres if you wanted to be smarty pants and use metric, which I should be using but I don't. Okay, so I've got a little square of strawberry slush here, just left over from the other piece I cut. I'm going to chuck that on first, and then I'm going to stamp these stripes. Now this stripe kit, stripy stamp set, so we'll get that away, is in the annual catalogue. I want to say it's in the annual catalogue. I definitely want to say it's in the annual catalogue. I could be wrong. Anyway, painted stripes. So it has the stripes and they're mimicking watercolour stripes. You know how if you do the watercolour techniques, you often just get a paintbrush and you go bloop, 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 bloop. Well, this one does all that for you without the use of a paintbrush. But saying that, I found that one stamp of it wasn't quite dark enough, so it needs a couple of those. So I have popped it onto my stamping platform. Here we go. This is my stamping platform. So if you've got a stamping platform, the name we won't mention, but it's a Stamparatus. If you've got that, or a Misty, or whatever you happen to use, I think this one works really well. Really well for that. So I've got a piece of white cardstock in there already, and the stamp set is on my little cover. Just ink that up. It doesn't have to all be inked up, obviously, because I'm only going to use a little piece of it, but I'll ink it up with that. Bring it over, and you'll see, where's my, oh, Jan, I've missed my thingy. Here it is. Oh, everything's falling over. Get my glider. Thanks to Jan Casey. If you want the glider, her son does the 3D printing things. It's a really awesome glider that I got from her years ago. So there we are. So as you can see, it does have the light and the dark of the sort of the watercolour effect. I think it needs another go, hence the platform being used. And there we are. Hopefully that'll be better. Yep, that's better. So there we are. So we've got some gorgeous pink stripes there. So for Hannah's, because she's not a pinky girl, I used Blueberry Bushel And she's a bit like me. I love my blues, as you know. I always go straight to the blues if I have a choice. But the Hannah is in Blueberry Bushel, but this one I'll do for Izzy, and it's Strawberry Slush. So I don't need all of that. I'm going to cut that down. So I'll get rid of my platform. I'm running out of room around here. I've thrown things on the floor. I've pushed things to the side. I need my trimmer. Oh. And I'm going to trim this down to, let me have a think, the card was 4 1/8. The second layer, first layer would have been 3 7/8. So the last one will be 3 3/4. So I'll just trim it down. Make it 3 3/4. And where's my nicest stripes? I think I like the stripes along the bottom better, the lower half of it. So 3 3/4 square. There we are. Under there where you belong. Bring back the card. So this little square is just going to sit on top of the card, and then we'll do some actual die cutting. So Isabel, most people would say it starts with an I, but our Isabel starts with a Y. She's Isobel. So I'm going to die cut a Y for her. So you have got an and in this. So you could go like Isabel and my Benjamin are together. So I could go Y and B. So Y and B. So that would probably fit on most cards if you wanted to. This one I'll go Y for Isabel. Now, to make that little backing on it so it stands out really nicely, I've used one of the colour, so one Y out of the pink, and then I also cut 2 out of white. So that's what I've used as the backing. Oh man, the mess is coming in at me. Okay, so there's our white and our colour. I'll grab my machine again. It's getting a fair bit of use today. Say goodbye to Deb. Bye, Deb. Bing! Somebody's trying to get hold of me. I have to wait. I know I do things on Sunday mornings. So I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to see whether the die will cut through 2 pieces of cardstock at the same time. Save me running it through 3 times. I'm going to do a white and a pink at the same time, Strawberry Slush. Let's see if it cuts 2 at the same time. Let's fingers crossed. Did that cut 2? Yep, it did. So I've got my 2. I've got my pink one and my first white one. I'm just going to make sure the theory works with the. Oh yeah, it should work with the Y. I hadn't even thought about that, whether the offsetting would work with the Y rather than the H, because it worked with the H. We may have to resort to H if it doesn't. It's because the Y's got that funny, different branchy bit. So I need a second white Y. I'll sit down now. Oh. I'm making old lady noises when I sit, I'm making when I stand, I'm making when I bend over. Old lady noises, who needs them? I'm just going to add some glue to the back of my Y, like so, and bring in one of our white ones. And like we did with the eclipse card, I'm going to move it a little bit to the right and a little bit down. So you actually just get a little bit of a shadow of white behind. See what I'm saying here? Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit more glue, just to the back of the white one this time. Bring in the second one. And what did I do with that one? Take it down. Take it down and to the right. Yep, that works. So you end up with, and it's going to be different for each letter that you use. So whichever letter, you're going to get a different sort of shadow. But you end up with a little white border around. Now, I'm thinking that it would be good to have a third Y and actually set it down so that you actually get another little, I don't know if you can see, the border isn't there at the bottom. Let's see if we think we need it. Oh no, I think that's right. I think you can see your Y set up against the, away from the colour. Okay, just with the two behind. Okay, so again, we'll find the dimensionals. We might as well use a whole pack. Who knows? I'll pop them dimensionals on the back. I haven't put any bling on the one I made for Hannah because, as I say, she's not a blingy girl. I might pop some bling on this one for Isabel. I call her Isabel. Izzy. There we go. You can see the size of that letter with the card. That's a 4x4 card, and the Y, the letter is just pretty much perfect. So you can imagine that on a series of banners, like if you were spelling out a person's name for their birthday or some special occasion or something like that. Sort of that's the size of banner that you would have. I might show you, if you're interested, I'll show you the banners, but it's a pretty awesome set. If just the banners alone, I think the banners on their own are $70. So I've used the pink, the dark pink and the light pink. We might use the clear ones just to even things up a bit on Izzy's. And there we are. So that's just a little gift card just with the person's name on it, with a little bit of a shadow or a little bit of a highlight of the colour behind. So yeah, you can tell, like obviously if I pop that onto the colour behind, you'd lose little bits of it in that colour. So with the little shadow, you get a little bit of a little bit of, what's the word? A little bit of clarity there. Yes, Kylie says they're awesome for scrapbooking, and they really would be awesome for scrapbooking, just for big titles and things like that. I tried to use them on that scrapbooking page I showed you for the pear, the painterly pear. That was a little bit too big for that layout, but I reckon if you had it like across the top of a double layout, it would be absolutely awesome. And if you pop it with the other, we've got 3 alphabet dies in the range at the moment. So the big one. We've got a little narrow one, which is really tiny and skinny. And then we've got a small one as well. So you could get just, 3 different fonts happening there as far as your scrapbooking is concerned. Okay, so this is the 3 that we've made together today. Well, 3 plus the examples. There's one more that I wanted to show you, and I didn't think we'd have time today, and I'm probably good that I didn't, because I reckon we're on an hour. We are on an hour. This is the 3rd one. Kathy just said to me in the comments, you should do Jan, and so that's exactly what I've done. My friend Jan also fits, but I made it a square card. So there's my Jan card. So Jan, just in black cardstock there. And I've popped it on the gorgeous, it's Layers. Oh, man. Layers of Beauty. I popped it back. Why did I pop it back? Anyway, it's one of the ones from the annual catalogue that has the masks. So you actually stamp it and then you can mask it to colour it in. So I've done 2 of those and popped them on the card behind there. And then popped my big, beautiful, bold Jan in front as well. So there's another use of the letters for a gorgeous sort of floral card as well. So, yeah, awesome. decidedly expensive, I will grant that. But as I mentioned to you, I can think of 3 ways that you can make it easier and cheaper for yourself with your buying them as the bundle, saving up your rewards, or adding them to your starter kit. So definitely add them to your starter kit. That's the way to go. Yeah, great bundle there. We'll have a look at the banners next time or in a future video. Don't traumatise about that. Kay. Yes, yours would fit, Kay. It definitely would. And thankfully my mum's name is Kay, so I could probably fit Kay rather than mum if I was making it for my mum. But anyway, all good. Thanks very much, guys, for joining me. Have a great rest of your weekend. It's been lovely to see so many of you here and some new names and some old names. It's great to see you all. Have a lovely week with your crafting, and I will see you all again next weekend.